Hello.
Hello.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome. Hope you had a wonderful week. Before we get started, let's just get right in. Chan, how's your week been?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I got new records.
Finally made it.
Oh, sure. Finally made it down to the record store I keep talking about over and over and over again. This place. This guy.
Oh, right.
Oh my God, it's so awesome in there. Pictures don't do it justice. It's just crazy. I got a really good Chicago album. It was like $6, I think.
Nice.
Fugazi. I don't know if you guys remember that from like the 90s. ODB. Round and round.
I like one of his songs. I can't think of it. The Baby I Got Your Money.
Oh. This has Shimmy Shimmy Ya on it. And a bunch of really good old stuff. I don't know if anybody would Protect Your Neck. That's a good one. Oh my God. It's so it's got so much good shit on it. Like this is actually a limited edition instrumental stuff. Real good.
Ooh,
very exciting. Cool. I got the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Ooh.
And grabbed some Al Green because I love that guy. So yeah.
I think these are a little before my time, so I'm sorry. Not reacting.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm really getting into records again and just I'm excited. I want to get a record cleaner. Have you guys ever seen one? You put the record in and spin the record inside this little thing. I want to get one really bad so I can clean up some of these because some of them are used and I want to make sure they're not too screwed up. But yeah. Amy and I actually went down there on Saturday and hung out and then went to this really awesome coffee shop that's new, opened up. This little, very young hippie chick is running this coffee shop by herself. And I'll tell you what, she knows what she's doing. She makes a hell of a cappuccino. Jesus.
Dude, that sounds like a good day right there.
It was a great day. It's been it's been kind of, Monday was a little shitty, but for the most part, it's been a pretty good week. Getting back into some workouts, getting some sweat equity in there. Especially today. Got on the elliptical, got on the rowing machine. Really proud of myself, actually. Spent 20 minutes on each.
Good.
Wow.
Which is usually pretty rough on my legs, but just really
you were in the groove.
Yeah, I'm trying not to let it get to me. I'm never gonna get any better unless I deal with this now and get past it. But yeah, it's just a really good feeling. I feel tired, but I feel really I don't know,
invigorated.
Sorta, yeah. I really want to sleep, but
I feel good exhaustion.
Yeah, I feel like I'm moving again, which is really nice because I used to spend 2 hours a day at physical therapy, and I just haven't. I haven't really been doing anything. I've been lazy and snacking a lot and hanging out with my feet up. That's what I've been doing. So it's time to get out of that, get moving. I need to. I actually have been running around with no socks on in my little slides. So see, look at that little Adidas action on. But I for the first time in 5 years, I'm not wearing socks. It feels really weird.
Who is this Chan?
I know. So I'm just I'm looking forward to some warmer weather. I want to get my feet in the dirt. I haven't done that in a really long time. I want to feel dirt under my feet. And that will be the first time I did that in 5 years too. But this is the year. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to do some grounding, get my feet in the dirt, and just get back to the me that I know. And I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, Kat? What's up?
Work. We have been so busy. We're down to only 3 doctors. So we're just running full tilt, and yeah, that's why I've been absent. I've been working so much that by the time I get home, I'm literally like, I'm exhausted.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired today, honestly. But I was like, screw it. I am not letting work take away my life.
Yeah.
Work-life balance. I apologize in advance because I am tired. It was a long day. It's, it was a busy day, but I'm doing good. Work's been good. It's just been hectic.
Mhm.
But I love what I do. I love the people I do it with, so that helps.
Yeah.
So it's been good. I just wish they'd take a little bit easier on me.
Well, I'm super happy that you're here. I missed
Mhm.
your boobs. Your
Me too.
boobs are great.
I can't do anything about that.
I know.
I keep trying to figure a way, but
You're it's great.
yeah,
I'm
I can't
happy
help
about
Oh
it.
my god. You know what I should
Totally missed
do?
you.
Hey, I'm there with Chan. I've always been able, and admire.
Thank you.
Us big chest has got to stick together.
Exactly.
Me and the viewers enjoy a good view.
Exactly. That's what I figure.
Hey, I guarantee you, some of the list, viewers probably don't mind either.
Yeah, probably
sure.
not. Well, I have a great setup. I sit in a recliner because it's comfortable. After a long day at work, my feet are up, my laptop's in my lap, like on a little cushion to push it up a little bit. But the boobs just kind of take over. I mean, they kind of lead the way around the corner, around
Around the corner, around the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, I got
they're
built-in
over there.
airbags. I've got built-in airbags. I'm in good shape.
Good old flotation devices.
Exactly.
Mm.
Actually, it was hilarious when I was in vet school. Fourth years, you wore like this jacket thing, to identify you as a fourth year. It was like this little blue zip-up jacket thing, and so it's winter, so I'm wearing like a sweater, a bra, a heavy bra, thick, whatever, a heavy sweater, and my little jacket. And a teacher brushed past me, like one of the professors brushed past me, and the side of his arm grazed the side of my boob. I didn't even feel it between the jacket, the sweater, the bra. Yeah. The fact that I'm not going to notice a little brush. He was mortified. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do." I'm like,
What?
I didn't even feel it. It's all good. Please relax. Yeah. Poor guy was mortified. He was afraid I was going to be offended. I'm like,
yeah, I was all like,
no.
Trust me, it comes in the territory of with working with little kids. You know how many times I've had hands and I'm like, whoa!
They don't understand at all. They'll just go like this and just give it a squeeze. Yeah. They're like, yo, yo, yo.
Well, a lot of it is because they're coming up for a hug, and they, it's kind of, they don't know to kind of bring their hands up or down a little. They just go straight forward, and
they don't get it.
And I don't find any of that, but it's like, oh.
The worst is little babies, and they just do this a lot. So, if they don't have a hand on your hair doing it, they're
going for right here,
and it's thin. And it's getting the meat, the boob meat.
I've had babies I've been holding, coworker pre-COVID would bring their baby in or whatever. I'd hold them and they would just be like, and start gnawing on my
no.
Factory's closed. Factory has been closed. It is a playground now. Please stop.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's interesting.
I guarantee you, Nick does not complain.
Not at all. Not at all.
Actually, suffocate me.
Actually, it was funny. I flashed him few weeks ago, and the man legit did a double take. I shocked him that much that he legit did a double take. Jaw dropped, his eyes popped out of his head like a cartoon, one of those cartoons where it's like, whoa.
I did that to Jason once. He was playing Call of Duty, and he'd called me down for something, and I was getting ready to get a shower, so I had my towel on. So I'm doing it, and I'm like, what the hell? And he was like, oh, never mind. It was, figured it out. And I was like, I just sat there, and I knew he wasn't quite paying attention. I went, whoop, and he was like, and apparently some of the guys were talking to him, and they're like, Jason, you there? You there? Sorry, guys. They're like, is everything okay? He was like, I think Bethany just flashed me. And the funniest is his brother was on the time, and I was like, no!
Oh, that's really great.
Actually, it's okay. One time, I used to, when Nick was doing the show on Friday nights, I would occasionally just flash him just for the hell of it. And one time he had to like go through and like frame by frame make sure I wasn't in a reflection from a case in the back.
Oh my God, no!
Thankfully, I was not. But guess what? I never did again.
Yeah, walk around naked.
It's not flashing him.
That what caused him to fall out of his chair that one night?
No! Oh God! I was in bed when that happened.
Sure, Kate.
I got video proof. I've got a recording of him falling, and then my reaction, and everyone going, "Oh shit, she's coming!"
I know. I was there. I was there when it happened.
Oh my God!
They bounced.
The hallway light went on. And that's when the recording ended. Oh my God!
Oh my God! We were all just in there just cracking up.
Oh, I have
Jason was like, "Kate's gonna kill us. Kate's gonna kill us. Kate's gonna kill us."
pretty much. No, honestly, I've never been that mad at Nick in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgave him. Maybe it was a lapse in judgment. He did something stupid. But, next con, there might be some violence. Who knows?
Revenge.
Exactly. Little... But we'll see. But yeah, I'm glad I came to that. I've missed this. I need to, tired or not, I need to make sure I make more time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
How about you, Ams? What's been up with you?
More humdrum.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like kind of, I guess I stress myself out too much because I'm trying to figure out how to know what emotions are happening when they happen. I don't know why it's difficult for me, but it is. So like I've been getting like kind of like my appetite has gone down and I haven't been as motivated and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, am I stressed or something? Like what is happening? Like all I've been doing is knitting. Like I'm just like sun up, sundown, knit. Because I'm trying to prepare for, next commissions. So I'm just like, I'm just doing one thing. Why I shouldn't be stressed? I mean, like I guess because like
you're a creative person, honey. You can't just do one thing. That's like being a painter and all you do is paint, but you're a creative person. You have to have other outlets, which is another reason why I started working out because like you got to burn some of that because I'm right there with you. The last few months I've been in the same boat. Like, well. I'm at my own boat, but I'm on the same river. For sure.
You're there with me.
I am. I'm right there with you. Yeah. I understand.
Oh, and I also had like time didn't really have any effect on me. Like it seemed like my days were going by way too fast. I was just like sitting down, knitting, and it was already dark. And I'm like, what happened? I have so. I think I
some of those days because I feel like my days have just dragged. I feel like weeks have dragged.
You want to trade? Be happy to trade. Well, I think I figured it out, and I like started sitting down and doing some cross stitch instead. And so I'm just like, this is still part of. I can still be kind of happy about this because it's still part of practice for the end goal and like more stuff I want to do in the future. So I don't have to feel bad about not doing work. So. And that's kind of helped me, but like for some reason today I was just a grump. I don't know why, but I was like a grump sitting there doing my cross stitch, and now I'm better.
Good. I'm glad you're better.
Thank you. The weather definitely helped. It got to like the 70s in Maryland today. Oh my God! I can't wait until that comes around again. That was like perfect spring weather right there. That was absolutely beautiful.
I think it was a little cooler. A little, maybe a little bit more of a breeze, but yeah, it
was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was gorgeous. We opened the windows in the house. We haven't done that in months. Smelled fresh air.
Makes you want to get your hands in some dirt.
Maybe. I might be too busy for this season. I might be too busy to garden this season.
You need it. If that's one of your things, don't make time. Don't let
make time. You gotta like. My thing, you guys know I like to paint. I'm not, with enthusiasm, not really skilled, but I love to paint.
Yeah.
I haven't had time like at all because of work
Mhm.
and because I've been just too tired.
Mm-hmm.
And but I got an invite to Painting with a Twist to celebrate
Yeah.
the mother of a friend's birthday, and I was like, I'm going. And
Mm-hmm.
I forced myself. I was like, I'm going, and I went and I painted, and it was like the best thing in the world.
Nice.
So
Good.
awesome.
Good.
Painting can be so therapeutic,
Yes.
especially if you do. That's why I love abstract, because you just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. You don't even want to try and make anything. It's just
Yep.
I feel this color. That's it.
Yeah, like
So,
Mhm.
it's awesome.
trying to. Oh, this inverse thing kills me.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, don't let this get in the way of you getting back out there and getting in the
Mhm.
dirt. You know,
Yeah, the
doing your
hands in the
garden.
dirt is therapeutic. You need it. You need it as a person. You need the sunshine and the soil crammed in your fingernails and
Aw.
Because
Oh,
remember that was
please.
all that you talked about,
Yeah.
last spring. So don't, because
Mm.
the fear is once you stop doing it, getting back to doing it is going to be hard.
Yeah, I get that. I'm gonna contemplate it hard.
Even if you just do something smaller, you just do.
Yeah, I might do that. Maybe like some flowers instead of worrying about vegetables getting eaten and stuff.
But don't
Just
don't
pots
completely
or
abandon.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? That would be kind of cute if I were to do one of those windowsill boxes.
Yeah.
Maybe like try doing
Yeah.
something like that. That'd be cute.
Yeah, do that. It
Mhm.
won't be overwhelming either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I bit off more than I could chew with gardening last time, so I tried to do this
But-
whole freaking like cabbage patch basically. So
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it gets your mind for when you're stuck on a project. You can look at it and go, "I'm gonna go play in that dirt right now."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you got to step away sometimes. You have to. I want to
Mhm.
try some poured canvas stuff. I'm going to try that out
Oh, that's
just to
fun.
get my
Ooh.
brain like somewhere else creatively because that
Mhm.
looks like a lot of fun. And then I'm going to try to do a poured countertop in my kitchen.
Ooh.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know
Clear
what you should
epoxy
do?
over the top of that sucker when
Yeah.
I'm done.
That'll be cool.
I haven't done this since I was in like, I don't know, kindergarten or elementary school, but do you remember when you would take paint and marbles and just like roll it around on your canvas? Like get them all like covered up in paint and then just moving them around.
Yeah.
They just create different like patterns. You should
That's
try
been
that.
a minute. Wow.
That was fun. You should try
I should
that.
try
again.
that. I've never tried that.
Mhm.
I've never
I
Mhm.
like
seen
it.
that.
I like it.
I think I did it once. I think it was literally kindergarten too. But it was really
Hey,
fun.
Nothing wrong with macaroni necklaces and marble paintings. Come
Yeah.
Exactly.
on.
It helps. It's fun. It's creative. It's neat.
Mhm. Sometimes you gotta let go. You
Yep.
just gotta let go.
How about you, Miss Lady Love? How's your week been?
I'm actually, today's been a really good day. Last few weeks, kind of taking a dive, just mental health reasons, coming home from work, just overly exhausted. And today,
Yeah.
I felt good. I don't know what it
Mhm.
was, but I just felt good today. Was tired, but I was like, you know what? I can't let it control my life. Gotta get back on here.
Mhm.
And like Chan, I have a few things I want to show. So a few weekends ago, Jason and I went down to Potomac Mills, which is a big like outlet mall here, because I needed new shoes. And while we were there, we saw the Lego store. So he was like, "Well, let's go into the Lego store and see what they have."
Mm-hmm.
Big mistake. Big mistake. So of course I go straight to the Harry Potter Lego section.
Of course. Let me get you. Wait. Get bigger. Let me get bigger.
And
There you go.
There you
I found a Hedwig.
Ooh.
go.
And then I got some of the little like mini figures, just like the little packs, the mystery packs. And so we go up to pay, and the guy's like, "Oh, if you spend so much, you get this one free." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And Jason was like, "Go get something else." So I went and I got the
Oh, the book you were talking about. Yay!
the book for
That's the Hufflepuff.
Ooh.
No, it's Transfiguration.
Oh, Transfiguration. Okay.
And
I seen
so-
one of those the other day. Those look really cool.
So
That's
for
awesome.
free, apparently, because they were trying to get rid of them I got for free was the Big Book of Monsters. The
Wow.
Why would they try to get rid of that? That's awesome.
Because apparently it was a special, I think, during the holidays. So they were just trying to clear them out of the store.
Okay.
So yeah, those were big things. Oh, he got me, Jason, because we're trying to get on this like water kick. So I got one of those like it's a 65-ounce water bottle, and for our anniversary, he got me a weighted blanket, which has been so nice. But yeah, just just kind of just trying to take care of myself. Oh, one thing I found. So years ago, we had a neighbor who would go to Europe all the time, and he would bring back Kinder eggs.
Okay.
And I love them because when we went to Europe, that's all we would buy Kinder eggs all the time. Well, those Kinder eggs you can't get them in the United States now because they're considered a choking hazard.
Yeah, because they
made the Kinder Joys, which are crap. Let's be honest.
I like them, but I haven't had a Kinder egg, so
I like the chocolate that's in them. It's like almost like Ferrero Rocher.
For me, it's
really?
Don't call it Kinder, because when I think of a Kinder egg, I think of the hollow egg with the little yellow tube with a toy in it. Well, I was at Walmart the other day getting some stuff, and they had the Easter candy out, and I found these little like Kinder chocolates, which are hollow.
Okay.
Just like the eggs without the toy in it. But
okay, so you get the taste.
Yeah, you still get the taste in the hollow chocolate. So I've been living on those. I'm trying not to because it comes in like a sleeve. So I'm like, nope, can't cord down on a whole sleeve of them.
Oh, that's because speaking of Easter candy, Peeps are my weakness. And Max recently found at Walmart, I think it was Walmart, these root beer float flavored Peeps. Oh my god, they were so good. And I have that problem. I'll go through a whole pack without even knowing.
Have you gotten any of the Peeps plushies that you can buy?
I want to. I have too many.
I have. Jason got me all of them.
I have a big rainbow bunny. Like I really do. It's like as big as my torso. It's so wonderful.
have you gone to the Peep store and the Harbor?
Wait, in Baltimore?
No, not the Baltimore Harbor. The harbor across from Alexandria with the Ferris wheel. Apparently, I think there's a Peep store.
What?
Yeah.
I need to go there. Oh my god! I love Peeps so much.
She's about to lose all her money.
And her dentist is going to hate her.
Oh, can I show you guys what Nick got me?
Sure.
So, you guys know my particular collection thing. I love Supernatural. Nick there was a toy show at in Spring Hill, which isn't too far for us.
Okay.
And he got me Funko Pop.
They're so cool.
He got me 2 of them there, and then ordered me the other 2 so I could have a set.
The full family.
I low-key want Castiel because he has wings. So
yes, he does. Yeah, it's and I'm not into Funko Pops in general. Like I told him, I was like, I'm happy just with the Supernatural ones, but yeah, so I have added to my collection. But I had to show off.
Hey.
I love Funko.
He went to the show and met up with some guys from the realm and had a good time, and got himself something. Cal got something, and he brought me those.
Yes, very nice.
I'm ready for conventions. I didn't like
oh my god, yes. This year in Baltimore.
Well,
in my state.
Is it have not been canceled? All my conventions, all my standard ones have been canceled already this year.
Don't know yet. They haven't actually made a concrete
I'm
date,
hoping
so.
RetroCon, which is in the fall, is still going to be.
Yeah.
That's one I am so looking forward to.
Same.
I'm trying to convince my best friend to go with us because I know she would find a lot of stuff to add to her collection there, and it's just just that's one of the good conventions. Like that's one that you find some good stuff. But anyway, what about you, Grims? How have you been this past week?
Life has been, I guess, kind of boring for the most part, just work. I'm having a good month at work, I guess. This has been very positive for me. I'm supposed to still be a lot of good stuff for the rest of the month. But outside of that, not anything too terribly interesting. Done a lot of cleaning. Not my favorite thing in the world to do. Including organizing all my pins. So that's been it. I've been organizing to sell some stuff and whatnot. But that's kind of been slowly getting there. But I don't know how to say. I do for the pins that I chose this week to share. I did get about 2 weeks ago, but I felt they were fitting because they were how I say it, almost like a religion in itself, or a cult, someone might say.
Oh no,
the Disney related ones in particular. So may I present to you guys Momobot, which is my absolute favorite pin maker that he did Alice in Wonderland with. And of course, Alice in Wonderland is very important to me because it's the theme that for our wedding. But I just like Alice in Wonderland as a whole, just because it's the fantastical element of it all and such. So of course you have Alice here and the White Rabbit here. So I kind of paired them together. He did the Cheshire Cat, which is my favorite, in 2 colors. So of course I have a problem, so I bought both of them. So I have it both in the purple and the blue. I mean, purple I would say is the standard, but I guess the blue is supposed to be kind of his hidden color, or
maybe more so like a callback to the live action one.
Oh yeah,
it was more of like a blue and gray.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
That is really cool.
And these are all big pins. They're like 2.75 inches, I think. And then the last remaining ones of that set are gorgeous. Caterpillar, there we go, and the red. Sorry, the evil Queen of Hearts.
Queen of
Hearts. For a second.
She's gorgeous.
But yeah, that Caterpillar one, beautiful. I cannot believe how nice that one turned out. So much detail with it. And also with Disney, different sets. So these were 2 separate sets from each other. He also did the Disney princesses as well, but I only bought the ones that are kind of the Renaissance age. So there's like Ariel. So like her tail's all glitter. Yeah, I know. A little flounder in there. Added a little seahorse. I think that one's just so cute. Yeah, and then Belle in her little yellow dress. So that one being with the rose and all that type of stuff. He just makes them so pretty. It's hard to not buy them all and spend all my money. But Jasmine.
Very nice.
So yeah, all with the genie mist or whatever, cloud smoke all around it. I mean, it's all kind of the same color, but all that smoke is glitter, so it definitely stands out a little bit different in person.
Really
and then probably the most beautiful, and I think I may have showed this or at least talked about it, is Mulan with Mushu.
Wow.
That one. That one is, I cannot. Wow. It's just so beautiful.
I think I need that one. Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
So nice.
It's amazing. But there's another Mulan that he released that's even bigger than this one.
Oh my God.
He did a version of her if she was dressed up in like the wedding clothes. So hopefully it fits because I'm very zoomed in.
Oh my
God. Wow.
Let's see if I get that. That's probably the creme de la creme. That was limited edition. They're sold out. It's done.
That's beautiful.
So like there's details. You can kind of faintly see it, little detail that's screen printed onto the pink of flowers there.
Oh, yeah.
All of it's glittered around. There's slight flowers all up in the umbrella. Couldn't think of the word. But yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Momobot, he is amazing. I literally getting enough of his pins. He takes all my paychecks all the time.
Well, I can say Errol had a little booty on that one.
Yeah. No, that one is. I did think it was a little strange, but I think it's just because as a pin, she is so small in comparison. That's why I showed her first. I mean, he made her hair really, really big, but like
some of the
booty. Yeah.
I was like, Errol got a booty.
But yeah, so that's probably my biggest loot that I've gotten recently, and so I definitely had to share it. But since Disney sometimes is seen as a cult, since people are kind of fanatics about it and purists or whatnot, or helping in or whatnot, how's religion been as a whole for you guys, would you say?
That was an excellent way to get us back on track, by the way. Thank you.
Personally,
I try.
Religion is a nightmare for me.
Yeah.
It hasn't been too positive for me either. It's always been a point of negativity. I can respect it for what it is and what it's done for humanity as a whole, but in this day and age, I don't see the reason for it. Like the only good things that I can take from religion. I was raised Christian. My family is still Christian, just in case no one knew. I can see the morals that come from it, the sense of community. Those are very beautiful things from it, but everything else, don't like. Nope. There's too many holes in the Bible. I'm sorry.
My thing is how it can be weaponized. Like,
I don't like that.
I'm a recovered Catholic.
I love how you say that. Say it again.
I am literally a recovered Catholic. I went to parochial school through 4th grade, which meant Catholic school. Did that, and then went to public school after that, and I actually deliberately chose a Jesuit college, but Jesuits are very education focused, not so much religion focused. So I got an amazing education, and I actually did get a little bit more in touch. I actually was more of a practicing Catholic at that point than any other time in my life. Like I actually went to mass and all that, but because for the Jesuits, it's very open, like it's very accepting. It's not like Catholicism like you get when you go to your local parish, you know? After I left that and I tried to go to a mass at like a normal church, I was like, no. And I'm done. Because like they're, ranting and raving about abortion and this and that and the other thing. And I'm like,
I hate that.
When I was in college, I actually wrote a paper. I took a class called Catholic Belief Today. And it was run by a priest who I respect to this day. And I wrote a paper. You had to write a paper comparing like your belief on a subject versus the Catholic teaching on a subject. And I picked abortion because I'm very pro-choice, always have been, always will be. And he holds up my paper and he says, "The author of this paper is going to hell," and slaps it on my desk. I got an A+ on the paper, but he wasn't being serious. It was a joke. It was very much like
facetious.
Yeah, but it was funny. We laughed about it. And like he brought one of those rhythm method teachers in to try to like talk to us about it. And this is a room full of science majors. We shredded her to pieces. It was hilarious. But like, it's always been used as a weapon. Catholicism was very heavy on the guilt. Very much so. Very much so. And so growing up, like the guilt you would get like tossed in your face. That's very hard to overcome. And honestly, it took forever. And when I was getting married, when Nick and I were engaged, we did not get married in a church, but we got married by a priest who, it's weird. It was just an officiant. We just wanted an officiant. We really didn't care. But the wedding planner found a guy, and he's a Catholic priest, but he's in an offshoot of Catholicism that doesn't belong to the Catholic Church. So it's like, kind of like the morals and the community without the bullshit politics.
Okay.
And he incorporated a hand fasting into our ceremony, which was awesome because I kind of lean that way. I kind of have like a more pagan spirituality than I do anything else. But when I was getting married, I actually had a family member, say to me that I was breaking my grandmother's heart because I wasn't getting married in a Catholic church.
They love to use any of that stuff.
Tried to weaponize it.
Tried to guilt you.
Yeah. And so I got on the phone. I'm in tears. I was so worried because my grandmother, she's since passed on. She meant and means the world to me. I love that woman. I called her in tears. I was so upset. I was like, "Grandma, are you upset that I'm not getting married in a church? I'm not getting married in a Catholic church?" She's like, honey, I got married at City Hall. I don't care, honey. You're marrying the man you love.
Aww.
She's like, who said that to you? And I told her. She's like, oh, God bless. Fuck her.
Yeah.
But it was weaponized. Religion was always weaponized. You know, girls don't do that. If you do that, that's a sin and all that bullshit.
I actually have to say, like, my growing up with religion wasn't bad. I mean, we were growing up. We would try to go every Sunday, and then it got to we were the holiday,
Christmas,
goers, Christmas and Easter, and I grew up in the Episcopal Church, which is pretty much like an offshoot of the Catholic Church because of Henry VIII deciding to go screw the Pope, creating the Church of England, which then became the Episcopal Church here in the States. But there were a few things that I didn't. It was very, like, when I was going, it was a very old school way of things, but it wasn't. I didn't feel like it was the brimstone and you're going to hell. But then as I got older, my biggest thing that I didn't like was I was Girl Scouts, and they brought a lot of religion in, and to me that's kind of, I was like, no, no, I don't like this. I kind of get it. It was based kind of on religion. So as I've gotten older, I've veered away a lot from like the values of Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts to the point where I'm like I don't want to associate with any of that. Like, I still get the pamphlets of support your local Girl Scouts, donate, and I'm like, nope.
I see. That's the like that. They really bother me, the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts thing, because it's like that is the one place, like not the only place, but it is like the biggest place, in my opinion, where religion and politics cross each other. And it's a shame that you're trying to teach young people like life skills. But you're incorporating religion and politics all in that whole deal.
So
I can't support that.
So as I've gotten older, I've really looked into, I believe, like my roots of like Kate, the pagan, the witch, the idea of the Wiccan religion, and the fact that we all have that spirit, that ability in us. You just have to find the balance of it, and using nature, using the moon and the planets to help guide you. I actually have a coworker. She's Muslim, and she's very very religious, and she asked me one day about my religion. And I told her, I was like, I grew up in the Episcopal Church, went once in a while, baptized. I was like, but honestly, I don't follow religion. And she didn't understand. She was like, well, do you not believe in God? And I said, it's not that I don't believe in God. I don't believe that there's one entity. I was like, I believe that everything in our life dictates who we are as a person, not just one person or spirit, one ideology. I was like, to me, we could have multiple gods. We could have goddesses. It could be as simple as the moon is what is the moon, the stars, the planets. I was like, so the idea that there is one entity that's judging us on everything that we do, so we get into this supposed heaven or go to this supposed hell. I am one of those. I do believe that there is a spirit world. I do believe that there are ghosts among us. I do believe that you could be sent to purgatory, or you could be sent to an area where it is clouds and rainbows and songs and
unicorns.
Unicorns. That's where the unicorns and the dragons.
That's where the dinosaurs live.
I want to go to wherever the unicorns and dragons are. That's what I want to go to. I do believe that
something to add. Go ahead.
There is like the idea of reincarnation. Like, at one point, we lived other lives.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to ask you a quick question.
What's that?
Did you ever see the Robin Williams movie, What Dreams May Come?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you ever kind of feel like that felt kind of right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You get that vibe?
I always believe that we were,
because that's like, that sounds like where you're at. You know?
Like, I believe that we're put on this earth for a specific reason. And when we have achieved that, we are then moved on somewhere else for another specific reason. So, cool. I've gotten into really, and I need to do some more research of how the moon affects you and how just nature in general, like, affects who you are. And not really religion, but you as a person.
I always thought it was really weird that people believe that, like, God, like, quote unquote, is a man, like a person, like a human man, and I'm like,
oh God, what was the movie where
that's kind of bizarre, but okay.
I always look at it like this. I think, like, I kind of have like a scientific bent to a lot, because that's how my mind is.
Me too.
I look at it this way: energy is not. It's not able to be created. It's not able to be destroyed. It is.
It is.
Right.
Yep.
So
Buddhism. Now you're going there.
Yeah.
Go. I'm with you on that.
When we leave this realm, when our biological system dies and our bodies are digested out into particles that'll then be rebuilt into something else at some point, the energy that is our soul, our spark, goes into another form.
Yep.
Whether it's reincarnation, whether it's waiting in a nice, happy place.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Tree,
but I always look at it this way. I guess I kind of do lean very Buddhist, because karma is a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's, and also the Wiccan idea of do what you will as long as it harm none, and what you put out into the universe comes back to you times 3.
Yep.
And that's how I like to live my life. Whatever I put out, I figure is going to come back to me. So I only want to try to put out good. That's why I don't curse out people if they piss me off. Why I try not to be, an angry person, because I don't want that coming back to me.
You're said and done sometimes.
Sorry.
But like, I'm like Kate. When Jason and I got married, we decided we didn't want to get married in a church. We didn't want a religious ceremony. His uncle did bring a little religion into the ceremony, but it wasn't anything big. And I remember when we were actually at my aunt's wedding, and it was in an old church, and they were doing communion. And I made the conscious decision that I wasn't going to participate, because I kind of got that idea of like, why do I want to partake in this possibility of ingesting a body part and blood?
That kind of confused me too.
That kind of morbid thought, and I was like, I don't know.
Very cultish.
So what you're saying actually bridges to what I view religion on. So sorry to interrupt.
No, go.
So I grew up sans religion. I was not raised with any religion on there. Religion was around. I had the freedom to do whatever I wanted when it came to religion. My mother never restricted me or anything. She was very open for me to experiment. High school, junior high school, the biggest thing was Christianity. And so, of course, there was a youth group, and that was the place to hang out because kids can't do anything. So kids hang out. And one of the most common thing was the youth group. And so you kind of just went, and it was. And looking back, most of those kids just went because it was just a cool place to do. Like, it just was the thing to do, but it wasn't anything that they were following. It was kind of like when they would preach at you, we were like, okay, can we get to the party stuff? Because we don't care about the preaching part of this interaction. But as I grew older, to me, religion, I would probably say I'm still very atheist in overall aspects. And so I look at religion very questionable, I guess, in a sense. It's not the religion itself that I care for in a sense, because, it could be interpreted in many ways. Things lead people to do crazy things. All religions kind of have that. People just misread it, misdo it, interpret it. It's a lot of self-interpretation and also misinterpretation by those who preach it or teach it or whatnot. And so to me, it's more what it means to the person themselves. I kind of just am more curious on how people interpret it, how it means to them in that sense, what brings them to that conclusion, how it affects their way of life. And so it always that has always been the more fascinating thing. It's like, why does this specific thing, is it because you were just born in and raised it? Some people find this, and I find it more interesting. For example, you guys found a different religion or sans religion, whatever, to yourself. But there are a lot of things that are instant religions that are really great. For example, Jewish has a lot of really great history to it. Passover, I think, is this upcoming week, right? This week?
It's the end of the month. It's just before the Christian Easter holiday.
Yeah.
And so that Passover has a really rich history to it. And the whole experience of Passover itself. I mean, if any of you guys watched Rugrats, so they had the whole Rugrats episode that kind of gives you some of that experience from it. And that was a very good kids being introduced to something other than Christianity.
What about the Prince of Egypt?
Yes. And it's just, there's so much history back into it that I think people kind of forget where it probably actually is intended. It's these stories that make you think about life and what you should be kind of living your life at, not to persecute someone else, but how you should hold yourself.
Exactly.
And I think that's where it kind of gets lost.
And I think that's the thing about the Christian religions, it's just, it's taken away from a lot of the other religions. They get the bad taste in the mouth because you got the fanatics. There are plenty of people who are in those said religions who are very non-fanatical. You can have you got your born again Christians too, and you got all those people who just understand it, they accept it, they take the religion into themselves, and I think that's where people take it so much to the extremes, like, you don't believe it, so you are going to hell, and I must save your soul because that's what's taught to me, that I have to save your soul because I get brownie points. I have a cousin like that, and she is very much like in your face about her religion. And I have gotten to the point where I looked at her and said, if that is going to come out of your mouth, I do not want to hear it. I do not want to talk to you until you can talk to me like a normal person, and you don't bring religion every 2 seconds. And she learned very quickly that not to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I shut her down. And
I don't have a whole lot for religion either for that reason.
She was one of those that she decided to go over to, I think it was like Vietnam or some country that really does not take well to
foreigners,
missionaries.
Yes.
To spread the word.
Oh God.
Well, that's part of what was
missionary.
Their mission. Missionary is doing that. You have to convert them over, get brownie points.
She came to family asking for donations to help the cause. We said no. And she couldn't understand why. We're like, because we don't believe in missionary. We do not believe in anybody having a religion forced onto them that does not want to accept it, who has their own beliefs, their own religion, their own ideology. If they want to be Christian, they can find a religion. I like that idea.
This is exactly.
I want to be a sis too.
This is exactly why I don't have a religion.
I just want to be a fucking witch and go to Hogwarts and learn magic and.
God, yes, that'd be so awesome. Oh my God. Oh, speaking of witches.
My religion is Hogwarts.
Hang on. The Scarlet Witch. Holy crap. Because I watched that. Oh, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for our audience. But oh my God, WandaVision.
We can create a separate chat and do all the spoilers in it because trust me, I've been obsessed and I have so many TikToks and things of that nature. We'll create that tonight, whoever wants to join. But anyway, I was going to say, I think then there's also the satirical side of it as well that kind of pops in with religion because you see it that is so crazy. Like one of my favorites being Pastafarianism. which now apparently you actually can donate money to it as well. Yes, his noodly appendage. Please bow down to his noodly appendage. Do not laugh at him. I don't know what you guys are doing. See, he's right here. He's in everything. He just you see him everywhere. He's just part of you. Yeah, you have to wear the spaghetti strainer on your head. That's just what it is. Listen, you must respect. Look at that beautiful. Oh, I gotta print that out and put it on my wall. Look at that. Noodly appendage is doing so well. It just is.
I'm sorry, this is your religion, but oh my god.
Oh my god.
But
awesome.
it's, satire on it in a sense, which is one of my favorites. I would probably say if I were a religion, I would be Pastafarian.
It's like reading articles from The Onion. People take them way too serious, and they're like, "You realize
It's the Onion.
It's The Onion. It's all made up."
I can't
So
disagree with you, Grims, because if it came down to religion, I think that's kind of where I would park my car. But I have real big problems with organized belief systems, just of all types. I think that there are good things in all of them, and there are bad things in all of them, and I just really don't. I don't want any parts of any of it. I've watched religion tear too many people apart, family-wise, friend-wise, all kinds of other stuff. But I just can't. I don't know. I don't like any of it.
I think where it becomes a problem is when it starts impacting other people's lives and starts restricting them from having things that they should have. Right. One of my favorite topics in particular being something that would be very triggering. I don't want to necessarily bring it up if it's going to be triggering to anyone in particular.
Fair warning.
Okay. Fair warning. Is, abortion being a very big one that religion places a huge into. Where it's more the restriction of women and it's more the restriction of your pro-birth but not pro-child, because the same people who, want to stop abortion. Okay, so let's put more money into education and let's pour more money into child care services for single mothers to be able to be taken care of, or adoption options, or things that take care of the child and allow this child to then have a better life, to be able to not repeat the cycle, to be able to help underprivileged children who may have been born of said situation that you're preventing from having.
And it's putting money into birth control and being able to access birth control.
They don't care. They don't care past that point.
They want to tell you what to do, and they want you to pay for all your consequences.
No.
They don't care.
But then they don't come out of the womb. They're like, oh well.
I find that deeply disturbing.
Possibly my best friend.
Yeah.
I had a friend from a college. We were thick as thieves. I mean, very different politically, religiously. She was very Catholic. I was already even in college. I was already questioning. Like I said, Jesuits are more open-minded, so it wasn't. But we were still friends. We respected each other despite our differences, and I considered her a sister. I had an ectopic pregnancy. As we all know, that cannot be viable.
No.
Period. So I had to have it removed.
Right.
I called her to tell her what happened. And she got off the phone with me real quick, and that's the last time I ever spoke to her.
Right. Right. And that's the other part of it. Religion, like I said, I've seen it tear too many people apart, and that can be a big part of it, is those type of decisions involved. I'm sorry that happened.
But then it comes down to whose life is more important then? Is it the fetus's life or is it the mother's life? Because those things do not end well if you do not take care of them properly.
No, exactly.
It will impair the mother. So then is the mother's life not important?
Because my sister had two ectopic pregnancies. And so just like Kate, it's not easy. It was heartbreaking for her to go through those two, but she knew. It would not. It came down. It was like, it's either me or this, and I'm sorry, I'm more important.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Well, even doctors say mother's life first before
Yeah.
baby. It's always mother's life before baby, even in those emergency situations.
But the problem is with some of these laws that they had been trying to pass,
Mhm.
it would have even made a medical, almost even harder to get.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. People love nosing into business they shouldn't be nosing into.
Yeah.
Who are you to say that I should or shouldn't get an abortion?
But yet they never question a guy when he goes to get a vasectomy.
Oh my God.
That
came across.
Are you sure this is something you want to do?
Oh, I hate that so much.
You need to have, go talk to your doctor to understand the consequences of if you have it.
I'll share it in the chat later, but it reminds me of this video I came across on TikTok, and this woman was saying, like in spoken word more so, but still the point was very true of usually older white men say that you cannot talk about gun control and gun laws if you do not own a gun. And she was wondering when they suddenly grew vaginas, because like, how do you have the right to talk about a woman's body when you're not?
Well, they're pushy shows when they start bitching about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. It does. It's not your place. It's not your right.
Well, it also reminds me of Dave Chappelle's skit. I think it's Sticks and Stones, maybe. I'm not sure. One on the Netflix where he does go on. It's all like, okay, if you have a penis, you need to shut the fuck up about this issue. Like, it's not yours. Let them have it. But he does also make another point, because there's the fear that, women will trap men if they have the baby and all that stuff. His second point to it was that if you can kill them, then I can abandon them. And he doesn't have to pay for said baby, which is then a point, very extreme, depending on who wants to view all those type of things. But once again, that goes to my point, which is there should be care overall to take care of people. Because if you care of life, you should want these people to be better.
Right.
Children.
Right.
Fetuses. Like the whole all lives matter argument too. Like, if you care about all lives, then help support these other persons.
On this life is focusing on this life in particular, and these are the ones that don't get the equal. Yeah, it's this, which is where all this kind of comes into play in the same areas. They're all kind of tied into it.
Absolutely.
So hypocritical.
Because religion has a lot to do with these decisions, whether or not political minds want to believe that or not, or agree with that, or admit to it, or whatever, however you want to look at it. It just kind of makes me a little crazy. And another reason why I don't participate in most of it.
Understandable. Well, let's get off the sad subject, I guess. Does anyone have any good memories about religion as a whole? I mean, I know that's the polarizing thing, is what it impacts us as a day-to-day. But I mean, just religion and the things that have come from it. Would one argue that Christmas is a great thing that's come out and has, dominated?
But it's not Christian.
Well, it's not Christian. It's a pagan holiday that was taken over to be able to do it, yes. But, it's been considered, Christian or religious style holiday that has been implemented and overwhelmed us within at least the Americas.
Jewish holidays like Hanukkah or Passover. I've always seen those type of events as an opportunity to get to know someone's culture. So there's a positive part of that, like latkes. Oh my God, who doesn't love potatoes?
Right.
They're so good.
Right. All the food.
Yes.
I think that's the one thing that religion has given us that's positive is all the food. All the delicious cultural food.
Bonding. That's what I'm going to say. It's brought us together in a sense.
There's an amazing Jewish deli in Buffalo, New York, where I went to college. And we went there, a bunch of us, and we walk in, and again, I mean, we all were Jesuit college kids. So, all, from Catholic/Christian backgrounds, whatever. But we all knew enough to go, don't ask for cheese and meat on the same sandwich.
Yeah, right.
But, oh my God, the food was so freaking good. We had corned beef on rye with this amazing mustard, and it was just the best food ever.
Oh.
I don't like either of those corned beef or rye. Sorry.
But I remember growing up. Some of my favorite memories growing up was going to Christmas Mass with my grandparents, and my aunts and my uncle, my uncles and my cousins, and sitting next to my grandpa. And we sat in the back because he couldn't kneel. He had like really, really bad arthritis. And Catholicism, if you don't know, I mean, if you ever watch like Robin Williams, he's the one who said Catholic light in terms of Episcopalianism. He had this great like bit on Catholicism where it's like up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yep.
And it's true. You get up and down and kneeling. But my grandfather couldn't kneel. He had really bad arthritis in his knees. So we sat in the back in like the special section where there's no kneelers, like you weren't expected to kneel. And I would sit next to my grandpa and we'd sit through mass and like, you know, smell the Old Spice and the incense. You know, he smelled the Old Spice and the incense from the mass, and just sitting next to him. And like to this day, I think of that, I just smile.
We always did the Episcopal Squat, which is you weren't quite kneeling, but your butt was kind of resting on the seat a little. It's known as the Episcopal Squat.
Catholics do that too, when it's like you don't feel like kneeling. You're just kind of like your knees are on the riser, but your ass is still on the pew.
Yeah, exactly. You're like you're just bent over a little forward, just a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's hard on the knees after a while. Seriously.
Even with the cushions, it was still like.
I'm gonna admit, like, I'm a little jealous, man, on some level. I don't know if I'd call it jealousy. Maybe it's longingfulness. I don't know. Like, because I grew up, my grandmother, by the time I was born, had become a Jehovah's Witness, and our family didn't have any holiday gatherings of any kind. There were no birthdays. There was no Halloween. There was no Christmas.
You can't take away from the celebration of God at all.
Yeah. And it kind of floated into my early childhood because for a few years, my mom tried to be a Jehovah's Witness, and it didn't bode well with my adopted dad, my stepdad, because his background was Jewish, but he was atheist. So he's coming from a Jewish family, and he's looking at Christianity like, what? And on top of that, of course, he's an atheist, so he doesn't believe in any of that shit anyway. So my mom trying to go to the Kingdom Hall, which is Jehovah's Witness church, was a little irritating on Sundays because it was one of the only days we could hang out as a family. And then my sister's born, and the two of them get into all these fights about religion, and then all of a sudden, Mom drops the Jehovah's Witness stuff, and we're dressing up for Halloween. You know what I mean? And it's just like all this bizarre stuff. But like as a large family, like we never really did anything like grandparents wise, aunts and uncles wise, stuff like that. There weren't large family situations or large Christmases or any of that kind of thing. And it was just sort of like pushed under the carpet, so to speak, as far as holidays go. So I don't really know how to deal with that. And the only reason my grandfather didn't have a problem with it is because he didn't have to spend any money on holiday gifts for anyone. His excuse was, oh, I'm sorry, we're Jehovah's Witness. We don't participate in your Christmas. So like there's no Christmas presents that have to be bought. So he's like
no gift exchange.
No, he's sitting back, smoking his pipe, feeling great about life, not having to spend any money. So it's like I don't know. We just never really had that kind of thing. So as an adult person, I guess if that's what I am at this point in my life, I, you know, like after I turned 18, I had moved away from home a few months before I turned 18. But at that point, I just started doing my own thing, like figuring out my own deal, having Thanksgiving with my friends, having Christmas with my friends, you know, stuff like that. But there's not really anything for me specifically that is positive that religion has brought into my life other than some delicious baked goods that I figured out how to bake on my own terms and creating my own holiday traditions, if I even have any. Like, I see, it's just so confusing for me because there was never anything to lay out for me to follow other than movies, you know, like Christmas movies, stuff like that, where I'm like, okay, that's what you do. That's what we'll figure out how to do. And then that was the gist of it. So religiously, I don't really have any, I I don't know.
All I know is
It's confusing.
The one religion that was
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
kind of like shoved down everyone's throat especially when I was in high school, was Mormonism, because we, of course, you know, as Ames knows, we have the big Mormon temple just on, you know, 495 up in
I
Maryland.
must have missed it. Or maybe I ignored it. I don't know.
It's like the big. It literally looks like Emerald City.
Wait a minute. Is that the one that has like the giant like golden cross on top of it? Oh my
god! Looks like
so
it looks like the castle from The Wizard of Oz, and there's that one bridge where everyone used to.
You think you're looking at an amusement park, man? Like, I'm serious.
You know, Dorothy.
Oh my god.
So we had a lot of, you know, Mormons living within the area, and one of them was actually a friend of mine in high school, and I had a crush on him. I didn't quite realize that he was Mormon, and his mom loved me. And she was like, "You would make such a good wife for him." And I was sitting here going, "Whoa! I am 18 years old." She's like, "But you're not Mormon. But if you want to, we can get you." And I'm like, "The fuck? What do you mean Mormon?" And she's like,
I don't get it.
You don't drink, you don't cuss." And I'm like, sorry. No,
I don't get how
he was special underwear.
Yeah, he was a bad. Like at the start, he was actually a bad Mormon. He got into a lot of trouble, but apparently now he's turned around. I don't know, but like she was just like, "You would make such a good wife for him. You would keep him all of this," and I'm like, "No."
My first boyfriend's mom hated me because he was Jewish, and I was not. And it was funny. And this was puppy love. This was, you know, middle school, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But
went to his a boyfriend.
Well, you know,
close enough.
Close
I
enough.
know what you mean.
Boyfriend based on the parameters of that age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys hang out during class.
Hang out in the hallways, hang out after school,
Yeah.
yada yada yada. Anyway, this was hilarious. I grew up in a very like multicultural area. After we moved out of Levittown, we moved into a more progressive area. So all of a sudden, I had friends that were Jewish, Muslim, you know, all different things. And I've always been a sponge. Like I retain weird trivia, and so I know some Yiddish, not much. But I knew some. Also knew some stuff like my uncle Larry, who's African American, asked me, "Hey, do I know what this one term meant?" And it was not a term I will repeat. It's actually a very derogatory term in a different language. And I said, "Yeah, I know what that means." He's like, "What does it mean?" I said, "I won't say what it means, but I know what it means." And he's like, "How do you know that?" I said, "I learned it somewhere." You know, I've always been like that. I kill it Jeopardy type trivia. But I was in her hearing once, and she referred to me as a shiksa, which, if you don't know, is a derogatory term for a non-Jewish female.
Yeah.
And I whipped my head around and looked at her. I was like, "Excuse me." She's like, "What?" I said, "I know what that means," and that was very rude.
Yeah.
She's like, "How do you know what that means?" I said, "I don't know how I know, but I know you just called me a very rude term."
Yeah.
And he didn't defend me, so I was like, goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that memory just randomly popped into my head.
But yeah, I had this friend's mom try to convince me to become Mormon, and I was like, no, not my thing, not going to happen.
Can I interest you in Pastafarianism?
And of course, you know, I actually years ago went and saw the Book of Mormon, and fucking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious and dead on accurate for a lot. Because we used to have a lot of the Mormon boys coming around knocking on the doors. And that stopped after Jason had an interaction with some young Mormon boys, and haven't seen any since.
Yeah.
Nick scared off missionaries at our door way back in the day. Actually, it was funny. When I lived in Blacksburg before I met Nick, I was living alone in an apartment right by a Kingdom Hall thing. One of those, and they would knock on the door all the time.
I think I kind of know where you are.
They look like a doctor's office, and they smell that way too.
Oh my God, the Jehovah's Witnesses would knock on my door constantly, but the problem was because they were walking distance. It was great, this apartment complex, walking distance to their place. So they would come walking around and knock on the door. I was working nights as a vet tech before I went to vet school, because I took a year off between college and vet school, which is when I met Nick. So it worked out really well. And I finally opened the door one day. It's like 11 a.m., which to me was like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I opened the door. I'm like, guys, I work nights. Can you please stop knocking on my door? Please. I work nights. The entire rest of the time I lived in that apartment, they never knocked on my door again.
Good.
I would see them in the complex.
Seem respectable.
They would be in that complex constantly, but they never knocked on my door again. I was so grateful. But Nick,
if you want.
See, we never had that here. We would get bombarded until Jason took care of them.
Yeah, Nick took care of
them. He followed them on their bikes, and he would ride after them. They'd stop, and he'd stop. And then they would start riding. He'd start going after them. And it's like,
and they just be like
the Jaws thing. And they would stop, and he would stop, and he would come in and he never came back.
I'm just curious how the pandemic's been holding up for them, since they can't go around and speak to a bunch of people.
Mailers.
I've been getting
mailers.
What about those people who leave those paper fake money as tips?
That's just rude.
What?
People work hard for their tips.
Wait, what are you talking about?
No, religious people, some of them have this paper that looks like money. They fold it in half, and it has their crap in the middle of it, and they leave it as if it's a tip, and it's not. It's just scripture, and they don't leave a tip.
I would slap you across the face with that in one hot second. That is insulting.
No. Like, wait, which religious people are doing this?
Let me see if I can find this.
Because that's
I've heard of that before.
Why would you? The other question is, why would you not tip somebody for providing you with a service? Like, what the fuck is the deal there? Like, what's your problem?
I was
Who doesn't
reading
believe
an article of like basically waitresses and waiters venting about crap on their jobs. I have never worked as a waitress ever. I worked retail. I've been a janitor. I've been a librarian. I've been a bookseller at Barnes & Noble, but I've never been a waitress. But oh my God, I was reading this article, and every single one of them bitched about the after church crowd on Sundays as like the worst tippers.
There we go. Let's see.
Yeah, I hated that shit. That's why I worked midnight shifts, because I didn't want to deal with that crap. I worked midnight shift, and then I bartended, and you don't get a lot of religious people in bars.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's bullshit.
I would find them and I would beat them upside the head. No.
Yeah. You see like how it's left?
Yep.
And then when they grab it, and it's just freaking.
Who thinks they have that audacity? Who does? Like
the self-righteous ass.
No.
Yeah. No. I've had friends that have been.
A lot of excessively religious people are
would be working, as waitresses, and they say that the after church crowds, they come in, they demand everything, they complain about everything, and then they don't tip. And it's literally like, I need to, like
I don't know, man.
The Karens of like the religious Karens.
So I worked when I was like fresh out of high school. I worked at a local diner, Eaton Park. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. Oh, Poppy. But I worked the late night shift, and the place was around hotels, and there was a religious group that came in. They came through a bus. They had a bus, and it was a last minute situation. And of course, our diner had a big sign out front that said like "Bus is welcome here, motherfuckers." And when I got there, they dropped the entire non-smoking section on me. And of course, these are religious people, and they all sat in the non-smoking section and filled it. Whole non-smoking section.
Let me guess, you made $10 in tips?
No, I made like $200 in tips.
Whoa! Oh
wow! Just that bus. I stood up in front of all of them, and I'm this little 18-year-old fucking child, I don't. Maybe 120 pounds soaking fucking wet. standing there, and I made this announcement in front of all of them, like, excuse me, you know, and I told them, I was like, I'm the only one working this section. You're going to have to bear with me. I'll get to you when I get to you. Make sure you know what you want. Remember, I'm making all the sundaes and all the milkshakes on my own. So if you want that shit, you're going to have to wait. And I went around and I took everybody's order. I made sure everybody got their drinks. And then I brought everybody their food, like did a big round robin. And those guys gave me a fucking standing ovation. When it was over.
You hustled that. That's awesome.
But the problem is they were not, it was a gospel group. You know what I mean? And those people were wonderful. I was actually part of a gospel church at that, like, I'd say like a year or two after that. And it was one of the most fun experiences for me. Although the religious aspect of it was not the part of it that was great. It was the people, how the people felt when they stepped away. And that's why I agree with, like, religion doesn't, it's more how it makes people feel than whether or not I have anything in it. I don't need to. I like to hear about how it makes other people feel without it having any negative connotations on someone else. Like, if you're happy in your belief system and you're not busy judging other people, good on you. I'm happy for you. But if you're sitting around with a bunch of other fucking women, or men for that matter, in my experience, it's mostly been women judging other people. Like a flock of Karens sitting around talking about so-and-so's doing this, and you'll never believe what so-and-so's sister's doing now while they're sitting around splashing whiskey in their tea.
The hairdresser, the gossip at the hairdresser.
Yeah, I don't want any parts of that. Like, if your religion is making you judge others, then maybe you're in the wrong place. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit back and be a part of some shit like that. It makes me feel nasty. You know,
it's very hypocritical. I find that to be very like that. That's the very, you know, in religion we're taught to respect thy neighbor, to all of that, but yet there are those that it's do as I say, not as I do. It's like, then how can I take you serious if you won't even? If
I trust you?
What you're preaching or saying to heart, why should I?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If any of those motherfuckers heard me when I'm driving, they would probably roll over and praise Jesus 1,000 times, because I'm a mean motherfucker when I'm driving. Yes, my kids, they're like, "Oh God, mom's driving." Like,
I got nothing wrong with your driving.
They're happy whenever JD's driving. If I'm driving, they're like holding on. They're like breathing all weird, putting their window down because I'm making them fucking motion sick. And while I'm screaming at people at the same time, like, get the fuck out of the way. What the fuck are you doing? You're not supposed to pass in that lane. You're fucking up traffic. You know, like, I'm losing my mind.
That's just everyday driving down here.
I can't be a religious person and have this mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. It's not ever gonna work well. I can't. It doesn't work that way.
Road rage just gets part of the driving test. If you don't have road rage, you don't get your driver's license around here.
Right. I don't understand how all that's supposed to work. Like, how are you supposed to be all like particular and prim and proper and shit in that religious place and not, I want to tell, like, I'm flipping people off. I scared this bitch today because I flipped her off while she was passing me because she cut me off. And I mean, cut me off in a dangerous way. And then, like, she whips in front of me and I literally followed her the whole way into Steelton. Like, she thought I was chasing her down.
That one time.
Yeah, she cut up a side road real fast after we got into Steelton. I was like, I ain't following your fucking stupid ass. You don't even know how to drive. But like, I feel like my temperament makes me less tolerable of religious things and doesn't make me feel comfortable in religious situations. So I avoid religion at all costs, even though I feel very spiritual about certain things. You know what I mean? Like, the universe in itself is just so amazing. And like Kate was saying about like scientific shit, like I'm right there. I'm right there
Mhm.
with you 100% on all that. You know, like when I go, I want to be put in a pod. I want to turn into a tree. Like I'm gonna die. Put me in a little
I was
pod.
about to ask you that. Yeah, just
Like,
like, yeah.
That's where
I
I'm
do
at.
that now.
I'm an organ donor, and I want to make sure when I die that whatever can be salvaged will be salvaged for someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a big believer that if I ever do get pregnant and I ever do give birth, that my placenta goes towards, research.
Because I'm an organ donor. Can you see that shit? Like somebody gets like my liver or some shit, and all of a sudden gets real bad road rage all the fucking time because that's the energy. That's my energy now in them.
But the thing is, they've actually shown that.
That's funny. That's true.
People,
He's right. I am an ordained minister.
Organ donors, that when they donate certain organs, that person, it's like the loved ones of that person who passed, they can like feel a little bit of the spirit of their old their loved one, and they're actually, I know it was just a commercial, but it was it got the feels. It was this old man who had a dog, and they loved each other, and the old man went into the hospital, and the dog followed and stayed outside the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw that commercial. Oh God, it almost made me cry.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's a real thing though?
Is rolled out, and the dog recognized that. I know, like recognized that she had his whole old owner's heart, and she recognized the dog as this is a dog that was his. So I do believe that when we die, our bits of our soul carries on with that.
Interesting.
So if we're able to help someone, I think why not?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if it were at all possible for me to have some level of consciousness in an afterlife situation, I would want to know if the motherfucker ended up with my same road rage problems after they got my fucking kidneys or some shit.
Have been hot the fuck out of it.
But like JD said, even in all of my like lack of religion and swearing driving down the road, I am an ordained minister. I can legally marry people. So it can be as simple as like, do you take this motherfucker to be your lawfully wedded? Like I can go there. I can do that because I don't have any religion that's like labeled in my in my book. I can just marry people based off of like it's like, a loving situation.
Married.
Yeah,
like
by the state of Pennsylvania, I pronounce you're married.
Yep, that's it.
It was awesome. It was a meme. It was like I want to find the girl that will allow us to get married by Batman, and it shows like this couple.
I'll dress up like Batman.
with Batman, or
do that shit.
Like, I would do that.
Do you have a costume already? Is this just kink stuff coming out of?
No, not yet. I do have a blow up T-Rex.
She said yes. She said yes.
T-Rex. I can dress up like T-Rex and marry you if you want.
Yes.
I got that. I can.
I'm gonna have to get remarried. Hang on, wait.
Some shit can go down.
Sign me up.
Yes.
We need to renew our vows.
Yes. Oh my god, put a little top hat on it or like a little flower.
Sure, I'll do it.
While you're dating.
There was a TikTok and it showed this wife would run around her house. She like randomly bought one of those T-Rex costumes and she would just randomly run around the house.
I want to. Yeah.
Trying to like go into the kitchen and be like making all these mess.
I'd have been out there with a snowblower this winter if we had one. We don't have a snowblower. But I'm not shoveling snow in a fucking blow up T-Rex costume. No fucking.
The best TikTok I saw, one of the best TikToks I saw, which I'm pretty sure was staged, but it was, woman tosses her bra at the husband and says, "Meet me in the bedroom." He runs to the bedroom, and she's wearing the T-Rex costume.
Yeah,
I saw that one. The pinnacle of sexy.
I seriously laughed so hard I scared the dog.
Well, back to positive things from religion. I can think of two that have positively affected me because there are good stories that come from it.
Mhm.
Like Dante's Inferno. Oh, that's made a game out of that. The book, I haven't read it, but I want to. But I'm like, you just go into like this depth of describing the 9 circles of hell, something like that. As
7, I think.
And he, like, as he descends, just like all the, like, you know, angels versus demons. That's like the coolest thing that you can like draw or do a story on. Like, have you watched Constantine? I know it's not a good movie, but I love it. So
yeah, I love the movie. I mean, Keanu Reeves. I mean,
that thing was
just get off that movie. Get off.
Yes. Oh my god, and Satan.
Not bad either.
Oh, the guy who played Satan. Oh my god, that was a compelling performance. It was so good.
I mean, Tilda Swinton was very, very hot as
my
Michael.
god.
Damn.
Right, Michael?
Yes.
Damn.
Gabriel.
Yeah. Gabriel. That's a Gabriel.
She's very androgynous. That's why they chose
I loved
her.
it.
You know?
That was one of my favorite
So
roles
good.
of hers. Yeah.
So good.
It's just that whole like.
Was that a
you
panty
killed
dropper
yourself.
for you, Ams?
I'm sorry?
Was that a panty dropper for you?
No, it's just some like good part of my childhood that I've held on for so long.
Childhood.
Of all the bullshit I've been through. So yeah. Thank you.
I'm trying to.
But songs too, because I know that a lot of like Christian songs, a lot of religious songs, regardless of their content, like what they're singing about, it's the power they send with like gospel, for instance, as you were talking about, Chan. Just it lifts your spirits. It like takes you to a different plane of existence in the moment. Like the song Hallelujah. Oh my god. Holy crap. And certain like, you know, Christmas songs I absolutely love. There's one that Jennifer Hudson did with Pentatonics, and I'm trying to remember the name, but like it's Jennifer Hudson's voice. She's absolutely amazing. Just hearing her a cappella, it just sends goosebumps through my body.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my god, this is so
it's great, right?
It's exhilarating.
And I'm right there with you on that, because when I was a member of the gospel church, it was like, and you could feel that. You could feel those people really loving how they were feeling about their religion. And that's a nice feeling. It's a good feeling that people feel that good, but like my belief system wasn't there. So I was like, I gotta go. I can't stay because this is beautiful, but I'm not in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't feel this same way. I think what you feel is beautiful, but I can't feel the same way about it. It's like breaking up with a boyfriend. You're like, I gotta go. I can't. No, I'm kidding.
It's not you, it's me.
There are a few hymns that I enjoy, but I enjoy them not because of the message, just because of, I think it's just the way they sound. Maybe it's like, some of it's like the words or just the rhythm, the beats, but maybe not always the message.
Or here's a good one. Mary, did you know? Like, regardless of your belief in Christianity, it's just powerful to think that, I don't know if this is for any Christians that are listening. I don't know if this is real or not, but it's just the implication of you have this ordinary mortal woman carrying God through pregnancy. It's just like, oh my god. That's just like powerful words.
They have been able to debunk where he was born, when he was born, the time he was born, all of that. They've actually found evidence, and we have just, the religion has just morphed it to fit what they want.
I hate that so much.
Because technically he was not born in December.
Well, Christianity, the whole thing with Christianity was they absconded with pagan holidays. They put their own holidays on top of them in order to kind of like overwrite pagan. Yeah. I mean, if you look at Easter, bunny, it's a symbol of fertility. Eggs, come on. Yeah. There's nothing Christian about it. It's all pagan.
How does that relate to Jesus rising from the dead? Excuse you.
Nothing.
It's about fucking like bunnies and making a bunch of babies.
But see, that right there is how the Jehovah's Witnesses like debunk. Like they say this is why we don't celebrate holidays, because they use that science, that knowledge, that history of like when Jesus really was born and blah, 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 and all that as to why, well, this is why we don't celebrate Christmas. And that's how they pull people in. That's how they're like, well, you come and join us because like this, and this is facts.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, shit.
But see,
Yeah,
I'm still not going to give up
you know.
my Christmas. I'm still not going to give up my Easter because I like the candy and I enjoy it. And
Me
I
too.
don't have to have the religion to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy Christmas for Christmas because I'm with family, I'm with friends.
Yeah.
I can enjoy Easter because, well, there's fucking candy that comes out around Easter. Let's be honest.
Like, that's the reason why I celebrate Christmas, is just it's the sense of community and togetherness.
For me, Christmas, it's more about the magic.
The magic? Okay.
It's about the magic and the belief and not really of God or Jesus, but just that magic of everything that comes with Christmas.
Like, here's an example of how
Santa was taken from pagan religions.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, Santa, in some religions it's not even Santa, it's what's some of the other, they just, there's even like was it Krampus? Oh no,
Krampus.
Krampus. Yeah. Krampus.
Yeah.
He was more so for
naughty
taking the naughty kids away. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, for instance, this is how Christmas affects me. So last Christmas, I actually cried at the end of It's a Wonderful Life, simply because it's the sense of community, like everyone coming together and supporting the man who saved their town. I'm just like, I'm not crying, you're crying. So that's what it does for me. Like, I love it when I get to spend time with my friends and family. I love it when, like, it's not about the things, it's just about appreciating each other and being together. That's like the best thing I can take from it, even though I'm not religious. So
it's the magic. I swear there is magic during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not.
Well, once again, it comes down to what you're taking from it and how you're molding it to build to yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas, of course, it's just not the extreme version of it. It may not be the religion itself, but the feeling and the.
I do believe that there is like a Santa. There may not be the Santa that we see in the popular media, but I think it's more of just that magic of the season.
I think I understand what you mean, but for me, Thanksgiving holds more of that than Christmas. It holds that sense of togetherness, that moment of family, that feeling, and really pushes my belief system, which is like, if you have more than others, you build a longer table, not a higher fence, kind of a thing. And
I like that.
And really puts that into perspective, like. You pull people together, you get people in the kitchen, you make a mess, you have food. What is one of the greatest things you can share with the people you love? Food and laughter. Like, those are the most amazing things and the most magical things you can share with people, because you get good food on a plate and on a lot of plates around the same table, and people are happy. Happy people like to talk and laugh and carry on and tell jokes, and all these memories get built at these times, and that to me is way bigger than Christmas or Easter or any of that other stuff. Like, presents are great, and I love gift giving, but that moment is way bigger for me. And the dishes thing, PF Ferguson, let me tell you, Mr. Brian Brink is the king of dishes, because when he was here for fucking Thanksgiving, that man was on it. Like, I didn't even know what happened to the dishes. I walked in the kitchen and I was like, whoa, what the fuck happened? But that's the other thing. Like, you get family together and people are pitching in and helping and getting involved. And like, that's a great feeling. That's where the magic steps in. I feel that, like, anytime any of you guys come here and we spend time together, when we go to conventions and spend time together, I feel, and he made coffee. That's right, Brian. You made coffee. That's right. It was like a magical morning. The day I was like, "Holy crap!
Like
it's
crap.
like Black Friday,
You're like, holy crap,
the
there's a
dishes
guy.
are done, and my
Mhm.
kitchen is clean, and there's fresh coffee." Like it was the
Like,
greatest
holy
moment in the
crap.
world. But like,
I died
that-
and
and went to heaven, and I don't even believe in that.
Kitchen. No, I know. I was just,
Yeah, but
sarcasm.
it's all those moments that like that more than religion, it's those
Mhm.
moments that matter more than anything else to me. And another reason why I can't participate in religion. I don't even understand religion, if I'm being honest. I just don't. I don't.
we have
'Cause-
the religion of collecting.
Yes. I was gonna say, let's end on a happy note. So we're all gonna now join Pastafarianism. Just wanted to make sure that we're joining.
His noodly appendage.
Yeah,
I
noodly
like that.
So just want to make sure you're all aware of that. So
Pastafarianism.
Pastafarianism. So
Okay.
you all have become members.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
Sauce
anyway,
be with you.
We'll
Sauce be
just-
with you.
yeah, sauce be with you. He is the strainers that he boiled for your sins.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. But anyway, let's start wrapping up. My shout out of the week is for this Sid sketched. Not necessarily for anything in particular, but I found this. She did this puppy dog for charity. I believe it's for either Atlanta or Austin Humane Center. Essentially, it's a kill shelter or something of that nature, and she's trying to donate to the local non-kill rescue centers for that. So I want to just bring some attention to that because we're all animal lovers.
We
I
just
mean,
get all the feels.
yeah,
Don't
cat over here
cry.
getting very upset. But
Oh,
yeah.
no, I need to go look at their page now and spend money.
yes, and
I
so
always, Grapes, you already had me spend all my spare cash on Dean Dog Art. And now I gotta go spend all my money on this one.
oh,
You know,
I could get you spend all your money. Just give me your paycheck.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing pictures of some new puppies soon.
Oh, well, actually, we're down to only one puppy in the house. We don't have any cats left. We lost our old lady. She had to pass. Her age caught up to her. But now I keep looking at kittens going, and puppies going, because we only have one dog in the house. It feels weird.
Go to your local
Yeah.
shelter and then
Oh, they find me when it's time. They find me.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
there's gonna be one that's gonna come to you when your
That's-
field
yeah.
of work. I'm sure you'll come across
the
plenty.
same here. Oh my god, half of our cats we didn't find, they found us.
That's how it always happens. I mean, even our Boston Terrier found me.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, the only purebred I've ever had, but he found me. It wasn't a question of me looking for him. So they find me when it's time.
So we'll
And
go
he's-
around.
He's like,
Oh, sorry,
trying to-
didn't make cut you off.
No, he's trying to pull my earphones out. He's on my.
He's like, it's time for bed, mama.
We'll wrap up. So that's me, Mega Designs. I am a graphic designer, illustrator, and I'm also doing knit and crochet stuff. So if you want anything like specific made, please let me know. I'm on all the social medias. You can contact me through either Facebook or my email. And I do have a shop at redbubble.com. And also a Patreon if you want to support me monthly. So don't be afraid. I don't bite. Please talk to me. Please. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Nerds Have Spoken podcast. They upload every Thursday morning. Grims.
What are you doing?
What?
You can also find him probably on either Saturday Night Hangouts or Xbox. And also, he just got his LLC binder. So Jason is now a registered business in the state.
Wow! Small business. We all love small business.
And everything, hit him up.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Shelf gravy everywhere, all over the place. Hopefully, not too much gravy everywhere.
Don't waste the gravy.
I do love gravy though. Recently made a half-gallon gravy, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Shelf gravy, Facebook, Instagram, email us, ask us questions, check us out. Every other Wednesday we do a show. Next Wednesday is a gravy night.
Gravy. Get on the gravy train. I don't know. I just felt like saying that. There's also Hole in the Ground Productions. So if you want to give Casper a shout out or need some work as well, they do customs, right? Customs, 3D printing, all that jazz. Yeah. Of course, our lovely music is done by the amazing Dust Mites. So check out his album on any music platform, pretty much all the popular ones for sure. So definitely give him a check out. Play his music in the background. It's good chill music for sure. You can also find us on all various social medias. So, Total Package Podcast, just find us. You'll see us there. Outside of that, Kat, do you have anything to plug? I just realized I went to the thing, but I didn't go back to you. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. Nick does, I will say, Masterpiece Shitpiece. Nick does do occasional pop-up YouTube vids, so if you ever are in the mood, take a look, search him out. He does some awesome stuff, kind of on his own schedule now.
He's also a podcast whore. He hops on any podcast he's able to get on.
Yeah, he has fun with it. I think tying him to a schedule wasn't working for him anymore, but he loves just chatting. So he and Sam did something recently, which was pretty cool. And
he's been on the Nerds Have Spoken a few times. He's done Saturday Night Hangouts a few times.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm like, oh, Nick's back. Nick's on.
Yeah. He's always entertaining. Sometimes chairs go flying. It's all good.
As long as glass doesn't break, we're all good.
Yeah. Yes. Oh God.
That would be dangerous. But outside of that, we hope that you all have a wonderful week and see you next Thursday. Good night.
Bye.